Hey AfterBuzzers, we are so excited. The wait is finally over and we're here to talk about Season 7 of Once Upon a Time. New stories, new beginnings. We can't wait to get into it. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I mean, if this doesn't get you in the vibe for Once Upon a Time, I'm not sure what will. The suspense is over. Guys, we are here to talk about Once Upon a Time Season 7, and I cannot wait to get into it. But before we do, I'm your host, Ally Nasta. You can find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta. And we have a lovely new panel, guys. We are so excited. We've got Carolina here. Where can they find you on social media?
Hey guys, you can find me at Carolina Bonetti on Twitter and LenaBean113 on Instagram. I'm excited to chat with everybody and get to talk about the new season, new characters.
Yes. Lanisha, where can they find you?
Hi, you guys. You guys can find me on all social media at Lanisha, spelled Lanisha 914. And I'm most definitely excited for these new characters.
Yes, Steph, last but not least.
Yes, I'm Steph Sabraw. You can find me at Steph Sabraw. I'm definitely excited. I'm glad that we have a new baby daddy in town. So let's get into it.
Let's do it. And right before we do, though, guys, I mean, I'm not sure if you know, but we kind of have some new exciting news for AfterBuzz TV. We wanted to remind you that these changes for our network, you may have noticed that Once Upon a Time now airs on our new TV YouTube channel for it's fantasy, sci-fi, all that good stuff. So everything you like for Once Upon a Time, you'll find all the other amazing after shows. We're trying to cater content to match your wants, and all of our shows currently live on content-specific verticals. So since you're a fan of our show, all of the content on this channel will be right up your alley. So just hit that subscribe button right now because you want to be able to catch all the other sci-fi and fun fantasy-related shows. We've got 9 genre-based YouTube channels, which you can find on the homepage of this channel. Subscribe to your favorites. AfterBuzz is the leader of custom TV coverage, and we are always looking to improve. So let us know what you think on all social media platforms at AfterBuzz TV, or email us info@afterbuzztv.com. And you know, we've got other channels such as comedy, drama, this one's sci-fi, superhero, fantasy, reality TV, reality competition, animation, wrestling, sports, red carpet events, featured and original. So, I mean, we've just got everything for you, so make sure you subscribe to all of these amazing channels. But, man, I'm ready.
I was ready to give you an award for getting all of that out in one breath. I'm so impressed.
Guys,
That was nice.
I was so excited because we are short on time today, but I just wanted to start into it. So first of all, first impressions, because it's hard to explain. I've been trying to tell my friends that they weren't into Once Upon a Time that it's you don't have to start. I mean, you kind of need to know the past history, but you can start fresh. You know,
Yes.
this is kind of trying to grab a whole new
This
audience.
is a whole new story.
Right.
Like a whole new characters, whole new storyline, everything.
So
So they
being-
can start this one.
Right, and being Oncers, what is your first impression when you're watching it? How are you guys liking it so far? What's going on in your minds?
I really like it, actually, because they set up the finale of the 6th season. I'm losing my mind. So the finale of the 6th season, they really set it up with Henry kind of coming into his own, and now we see him all grown up as the baby daddy, like Seth mentioned. But what they
Yeah.
it is cute for sure.
Puberty did
Good
well.
choice casting. Good choice.
But I think that the biggest thing is that they said that there are so many other iterations of Cinderella and
Yeah.
Snow White. It's like there's a French Snow White, and there's this, there's a Chinese Snow White where she goes to like the river and like the stream gives her the magic that gets her out of her like evil like step parents' house. Yeah, it's really interesting. So I'm excited to see if they're going to bring in like Chinese folk tales, and we're going to get to see that, or African folk tales, and how they're going to mix it up. And I love that Cinderella is Latina.
That's what I was just about to say. And she's a bad. Oh my gosh. Sorry, filter, but I'm just saying. Oh man, gosh. She could hold her own, and she's not the typical damsel in distress, like, oh, the prince gotta save her. No, she can seriously kick butt. Like, I like her.
When she took the motorcycle, I was like, okay.
She punched him right in the face, like.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that at all.
No, I thought she was feeling him, and I was like, okay. But clearly she had some vengeance to get into that with the prince. But
You can't trust anybody, so
yeah,
props to her. I get it.
You're right. I do like I like the new set. I like that it is a completely new setup with new characters, and Henry's older. People are more developed. I just hope with this episode that the creators continue to put more creative twists and turns into it and kind of, I like when Once Upon a Time you're like, oh, you know, when you find out like Henry's the author and it's that moment where you're like, yes, I love that.
Right.
And we're really seeing his story because we really do, like he said it himself, like we see everybody else's story. We never really focused on his story as the author. So I thought it was interesting, even with him forgetting like everything, how he was still the author, and we're seeing this whole new story with him.
Yeah, I think something that I need to keep telling myself is I'm so sad that we're not going to see Emma.
Yeah.
And so I have to keep reminding myself, Ally, you need to accept and embrace this new storyline. You are not going to see too much of Emma. I was so heartbroken that Emma and Hook finally got together, and then we can't see that progress anymore. So that's
But
something.
it's nice that though that they are allowing, like has agreed to come back on set and to show her face, unlike other shows where they never see him at all, and it's just like, what happened to them?
Yeah, I'm so excited to see how they kind of infiltrate her character, and we don't know if it's going to be a flashback or
through the book,
right? Or is it going to be the last episode of the season? That
Right.
is going to be really interesting how they intertwine it.
So talking about main characters, I really want to talk about Regina, who is now Ronnie, because the evil queen is Bae. I love her. She's my favorite character on Once Upon a Time. Well,
Yeah,
her
she's my favorite
and
character, too.
Rumpelstiltskin, who has very little been revealed so far, but he's like
I
the
think
most
he
woke
knows.
dude ever.
Right.
He does know. He knew the last curse. He's gonna know this curse.
At Hook, and he was like,
Right, he
We're
definitely
gonna do
knows.
great work together.
Like
But-
hint, hint.
What I'm excited about is that Regina never got her happy ending. Everyone else got their happy ending at the end of season 6, or happy beginning, as they said. But Regina still didn't, even though her like evil shadow self got Robin. She didn't.
lost her man. Like give her a shot. Give her at least
everything.
give
Mom,
Ronnie a
Dad,
shot.
Boo.
Right.
Even her son, like low key, she's got 50% of him.
Yeah, and
If that.
he left to another round.
Right. I think
So-
we might see a little bit more of her story progress, but something that's really interesting is the stepmom. She's kind of it's kind of a weird way that they put her in the story with kind of taking custody of her step grandchild, and someone made a good point. They were like, I'm kind of confused. I don't get why Cinderella's stepmom feels like she can have custody over her daughter, though, and it is kind of a weird
Control,
way. Yeah, but I'm just saying
I'm
it's
hoping
it's
that
weird.
they elaborate more on it
They
throughout the
definitely
other
will.
Right.
episodes.
I think that
Yeah.
was I think that is part of the point, and they always
Like,
do that
keep
with
us interested.
characters.
Right.
They'll put them in for a second, and you don't really know the cause or how much they know, if they caused the curse, if
Right.
they. Because remember when I kind of thought it might be like the first season when Regina cast the curse, she didn't have powers in the city that she was in, so it's like I just don't know if maybe that was her.
right.
No, but think about it. This curse has come full circle. Regina is now living Mary Margaret's life. She's like a slightly sassier Mary Margaret. That's what I was going to get at beforehand, is that,
about that.
if you think about the curse and the progression and all the curses that they've been through so far, this is literally her curse done onto herself, because for magic, there's a price for
Like
every type of
payback.
magic, and in a way, it's like her story is coming full circle. So maybe this will give her her happy ending.
But she already been paying the price. Like
Yeah, she's been
paying
paying.
it. Like
She took 28 years away from Mary Margaret and Emma. Emma never knew her
I feel
parents.
like it all
even
caught
though-
up to her. Like give her
Emma
a break.
became the savior. I think
Right.
you know how many times she used that past, she's like, but I'm the savior, but I'm
Right.
the savior, which I would too, but I'm just
Right.
saying
I
she
don't
got
know.
hers.
Yeah, I'm just give Ronnie something.
Well,
I mean, you
I
gave
mean,
her a
look,
bar,
she's
cool
my
free
favorite.
drinks.
Yeah, I agree. She
favorite,
is my
but
favorite.
I really think that she's now come full circle,
Yeah.
and she's almost like a slightly tougher Mary Margaret.
True.
Well, yeah, of course.
With, you know, them jeans
Yeah.
and everything. I was liking her new look. I
Right.
said,
Well, it's funny to see her interact with Henry, not knowing that it's her son,
Yeah.
and like she's almost the same age as her son now, so that's kind of a weird dynamic.
it's exactly like what
Right.
she just said, Emma and Mary
they're-
Margaret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we get into anything else, speaking of crazy family dynamics and scary stepmoms, Dynasty, guys.
Yes.
Have you heard about this show? It's on the CW. So
Awesome. It was in the 80s.
yeah, they're
really
bringing
cool.
it back. It looks amazing. It's the most instantly addictive new show in fall, and I can say I saw some of the previews, and it's from the same writers as from what am I thinking of?
Gilmore
One Tree
Girls?
Hill and One Tree
Oh,
Hill
Gossip
and
Girl.
Gossip Girl.
Yeah, Gossip
And so it starts Wednesday, October 11th on the CW. It's the highly anticipated series premiere of Dynasty. I don't know if you saw the original, but it's one of the most iconic shows of the 80s. The fashion and fight scenes alone are just legendary. The CW's version of Dynasty is already getting major love from critics. You won't be able to get enough of the drama and the surprises, and I'm telling you, because I went to the Paley Fest and the surprises that they were talking about, crazy. The
We
fight
love that.
scenes, I cannot wait
We
to get
love
into
that.
it. But just like I was saying, it's from the producers of Gossip Girl and the OC, so you know it won't disappoint because Stephanie Savage and Josh Schwartz are like amazing. The Carradines are the family that has it all. Their business is literally power, and they'll do anything to get more. Blake Carrington rules this dynasty by all means necessary, including manipulating his own kids. Fallon and Steven. Fallon Carrington is ready to take over the family business and the world, but she's in for a big surprise. Cue Crystal, her father's equally ambitious and gorgeous young fiance. So get ready, the women on this show are bosses, just like in Once Upon a Time.
And on this panel.
Exactly. And they're not fighting for a man, they're fighting for business and family. For the Carringtons, that's the same thing. Don't miss the series premiere of Dynasty Wednesday, October 11th, after the season premiere of Riverdale on the CW. I mean, can the CW get any better?
I'm such Riverdale trash, so you
It's
had me on board
amazing.
when you said
Amazing.
fashion. I was like, all right, there goes
Right.
my Wednesday.
Well, let's get back on track to family crazy dynamics and everything. We've got Cinderella and Henry together. They are true love, which I kind of found interesting that they would bring back Cinderella in such a major way.
Yes.
Because the last story was just kind of one of that was written in, and we didn't never see her again. Maybe once or twice, but this is Henry's love of his life.
Exactly. And it's so funny how they did it, because I was kind of thinking they would bring back his other girl, because you know how he had his own little lover.
Oh yeah, the
yes.
little in the that was with Sir
I
Lancelot.
thought that she
Yeah.
was another. I thought, I don't know. I was
No, you guys,
thinking I would
she-
see a grown up,
she
but I like
wasn't
this
about
girl. I like
him.
Cinderella too.
She was not about him. I think you know what I mean. She
Yeah,
wasn't.
she
She wasn't down like that.
It was just puppy love.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It was, but I thought that they kind of, she kind of resembled his daughter now. Like his old love. So that when I saw the previews, I thought that was going to be his fiance, because she kind of resembled
Yeah, she does a
who
little bit.
his
Yeah, you're
first
right.
love was. So I found that really interesting. But Brittany Scott in the chat goes, the old Cinderella was boring, LOL. And I was like,
That's
yeah, the new Cinderella is definitely
Yeah,
spicy.
yeah. I
Cinderella
mean,
was about
yes.
as vanilla as it gets.
yeah,
Yeah.
she was.
I'm ready to see more action with her, because I have a feeling she is going to do a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spicy.
Yes.
Well, I'm just really intrigued to see how they're gonna spin this. Like, I don't even know if I want to call it. It obviously isn't a new series, but it almost is, because we kind of have to remember these characters are not going to be strung along from last season. And so now that
Yeah.
Cinderella's all new, it's like, who else are we gonna get introduced to?
Okay, well, from one point of view, so I think there's going to be a lot of Irish folklore this season that we're going to see,
Ooh,
because they called Rumpelstiltskin the Weaver. So, fun fact for fairy tale history, the Weaver is this really dark character kind of in the Hansel and Gretel Grimm's fairy tale land of tales, and the Weaver would actually cut and manipulate people's fate by their hair, and he would kill them, and then, like, it's actually a female.
I would be down to
but
see
she
that.
Would, yeah, it was very much like a Hansel and Gretel type house, but she would, like, have what's it called when you're weaving? Help me out, you guys.
Needles?
No. It's like a loom.
Oh,
She would have a loom.
I was like, I don't know. I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
if you're talking about weave.
Yeah.
Let me help you.
Okay, no. So there's like a loom, and she would have like the hair, and it would weave people's fate, and it was almost like she could cut and manipulate and change your fate. But it was dangerous to get into the hands of the Weaver, because usually the fate that you got is not the fate that you asked for. There were very tragic endings. So I wonder if they're going to go into a darker storytelling of the fairy tales, because this is a much darker Alice.
Yeah.
That's true.
And seeing as how they're calling him the Weaver, I wonder if we're going to get to see like an actual story of the witch from Hansel and Gretel, and if we're going to see kind of like Hans Christian Andersen's version of The
Right.
Little Mermaid, which is sad. Spoiler, she dies.
Oh gosh.
Like, so
Well,
I
I
wonder.
know for a fact they're supposed to be bringing on Princess Tiana.
Yes.
Oh,
Now
we
that-
saw her.
Yeah, that's
yes.
something
Did you
we
see?
can
We
roll
saw
with.
her in the
That's not like a
premiere.
glimpse. I want
They
to
were
see a
short
whole.
legs.
I want the whole.
They asked
enchilada.
her for no, but they gave us like a little sneak peek of her because they asked us. They asked her in the ball when Cinderella was there if she wanted frog legs, and she was like, "No, I'm good."
No, but they're
that's
supposed to be doing
Princess
a.
Tiana?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I was confused with the whole stepsister, like who was supposed to be the stepsister.
But they're
Missing a
supposed to. I think they're
stepsister.
gonna do the whole story with Princess Tiana.
Yes,
That's
for
what
sure.
I want.
Yeah.
That'll probably be the first, extra story that gets added in. But who is Cinderella's sister? Is she just the sister? Or...
She's the girl that was the assistant.
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah,
I didn't
that
get
one
her
I
name.
didn't catch.
Yeah.
and that's why I was kind of confused because I'm glad that you caught on to that was Tiana because when they were roommates, I was trying to figure out, wait, are you supposed to be friends with your evil stepsister?
Yeah.
So that's what I was kind of
But the
not
evil
but-
stepsister works for her.
Right, so
for
there's
the
only one
stepmother
this time,
now.
I'm assuming, or
Yeah,
is there
or
two?
unless
But
there's-
is there two? Because the other stepsister was always less wicked than the.
I think
the
there is
older
supposed
one.
to be two.
The one who works for her
yeah.
is for sure wicked. Because you
Oh,
see,
yeah.
they put her in another scene where she was not nice. Party
Right.
next door.
I feel like she's just trying to survive her mom. I mean, did you see her face? Her mom was like very. I felt very like Meryl Streep, Devil Wears
Yeah,
Prada.
but she also
Mom
might be under
is-
the curse too. She doesn't. I don't think she's.
Yeah, which leads me to who do we think is
Actually-
that planted the curse?
Lady
I
Tremaine.
think it's the stepmom.
That's
Like
what I
because,
thought.
like, clearly, like, she's controlling, kind of like Regina's
Right,
story.
she was like the mayor.
Yeah. So I think
Interesting.
it's definitely the stepmom, and I think Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, because Rumpel's
like,
now a detective, which is
Yeah.
kind of always he's been chasing that hero role.
Right.
So when I saw him like the big dog with everyone outside his office, I'm like, okay. And when he knew
Yeah.
Hook, I'm like, something.
That's just his character in general. Like, he always knows.
But he
always
never
knows.
is in the position of like being a cop. But you know,
Yeah.
that was Emma. That was Hook.
Right, because he would be he
True.
wasn't trusted enough to be put in a role like
Yeah.
that. So maybe maybe it is kind of a swing of events where all of the who used to be the like that weren't the heroes are going
Right.
to be getting their happy endings and we're gonna see that.
all the villains.
Hook had his happy ending. He had his kid and Belle and person of interest
Hook.
A and
You
B.
mean
Or
Rumpel.
Rumpel,
Oh, it was
sorry.
I was like, did
I
I
was like,
black
yeah.
out the entire
I remember
time?
having a kid, but
Rumpel had his happy ending, and I'm sorry, but person of interest 1, Belle, and person of interest 2,
Yeah.
child number 2.
do they fully,
He's
you
not
know,
gonna take
trust
that
him
well.
though? Like,
He's awake, and he is copping it out in the police station, not because he cares. He's obviously looking for them or doing something equally nefarious.
Yeah.
I don't trust
being
him.
bad,
You can't
like
trust
always.
a crocodile.
No.
what's he up to? That's what I want to know.
Right,
What
he's-
is he up to?
He's clearly up to something crazy, as he usually is with his scheming ways. But also,
Right.
too, something jumping to like the whole scenery of everything. There's a couple people in the chat that had mentioned it's really interesting that they're using kind of a modern day. It's not this secluded place in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
It's a big city, and that's going to be really interesting how when they wake up. How big is it? Like, you know what I mean? How many people in the city will actually have magic and how that intertwines with everything?
And is
Mixed
it
with
where
the
do they?
normal people?
Yeah.
Right.
Where do they go back to? Because all before it was the fairy, you know, wherever
Right,
the
the
different
enchanted
lands.
forest.
Yeah,
Enchanted.
but then we also still lost these in all the doors. You know, there's so what land is it that they'd go back to, or would they stay? Are they in the civilized area
Right.
now?
And
I
maybe
wanna
it's
know
just
why
disguised.
did they specifically
that's true.
choose those people to be in the curse?
Yeah.
And then leaving some of the other people out.
Right.
I'm just interested to know how they would tie
Are
that
some
into the
people
story.
trapped in
Oh yeah, is
Storyland?
it a new Storybrooke,
Yeah.
or is it a like a common or
Yeah.
a normal day time
Right.
with them in it?
So you guys are saying maybe it
is a story,
Man, there's
Brooke.
there's some,
There's so many
amazing-
questions, but I'm
right.
sure the writers will like fill us all in. I'm positive.
Yeah.
I believe in it. If they're gonna do it.
Right. Well, there was a couple of hidden innuendos that I really liked. When Henry's keychain had a swan. I don't know if
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
caught that.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
I wonder how. I mean, obviously he had to have something to remember his mom, but
Yeah.
that's going to be something that maybe triggers his memory.
I thought that was sweet.
Subconsciously,
Right.
he's looking for his parents and he doesn't realize it.
Right, and that even leads us to when he goes to the graveyard site to put flowers on and realizes it doesn't
It's not
exist.
a graveyard, yeah. Yeah.
But that was also shown in previous seasons. I don't remember the season, but there was a point where I believe it was Snow White was arguing with somebody in the town, and she was like, no, but when did you get here? Really think about it. And they were like, they didn't have it. I think it was with Granny,
I do remember.
And they didn't have an answer. And they were like, I don't, then they got really flustered. And she's like, because it's not real.
She was the only one that was catching on. And then I even remember in the other episodes, both her and Charming actually woke up. Yeah. And they put themselves back to sleep. Back in the curse.
It was really sad.
Man. Yeah.
But no, I'm talking like previous to that, when they were still trying to wake people up.
And she was being real smart about it, though. Because Snow was the boss.
Ivan Soto says Hyperion Heights is a real town. It's not like Storybrooke.
Thank you.
So, well, because it is in Seattle. It's in Seattle.
Yeah.
So, but I think we were wondering if it was like secluded. It'd be like it's supposed to be reality, but it's secluded.
Yeah.
I don't know. We might be thinking way too much.
Yeah, we're like, what's the science behind it?
So what they said in the premiere was that the Lady Tremaine was having outsiders come in and making the fairy tale characters leave, and that apparently if they left and they left where the curse was, then they would disappear. Like if they do actually get out of the town lines of like what sections off the area that is Hyperion Heights, what I inferred from it was that if you do get out and you're a fairy tale character, you know more.
That was
Storybook. Yeah, I was about to say that's exactly the line that they did in that Storybook.
But unlike
or something bad would happen to them.
City people can come in to Hyperion Heights.
She's gentrifying Hyperion.
That's what someone, Brittany Scott in the chat said. Lady Tremaine is trying to gentrify Hyperion Heights.
She
is. Don't catch that.
Totally.
For real. She's moving out the culture. She's bringing.
Oh my gosh, man. I'm gonna see. What are you guys in the chat? What are you guys thinking? How do you feel this season premiere is making this new storyline go? And also, too, I don't know if you guys understood this too. When Henry is talking about his city or where he's from, his realm, it's about where stories can become real. I don't know. Everybody's looking for their happy ending, and so then he was like, "Cinderella, come with me." And when
Storybrooke.
But no, but he left Storybrooke.
No, she's probably telling, because he's looking for his story, so he's bringing her on the journey with him, like, come with me on this journey to find maybe your stories in one of these realms, like maybe it's not
okay.
here.
I thought he like had a realm that was just meant for like.
No, like he's finding his story. Go on this journey. It's romantic.
Because he told his mom, Lana Priya's character Regina, in the beginning, she was like, Henry, if you only have one bean, how are you going to get back? And he said it'll be an adventure. And he's figured out how to hop through these portals. I wonder if that last portal was him going back to Storybrooke to check in with his family. Because he's grown. Who knows what adventures he's had that we don't know about. And that's why he said to her, I know a place where you can get a fresh start. Storybrooke is a fresh start. How many characters were told throughout seasons and seasons and seasons? You don't have to be who you used to be. They even said that to King Midas.
Yeah. Okay, I never thought about that.
Man.
Look at you. You don't
Right. I'm like, I feel like sometimes I just will watch, especially I was really holding on to last season. So this episode I was kind of, I think, holding on to a grudge of, I want the old characters and I need to like actually go back and rewatch and like start
reprogram the brain and just adjust.
And start putting all the pieces together, because there's so many things that you can miss in just a sentence that will help make everything line up.
I want to rewatch it because I only got to watch it once and I was thinking the same thing. I feel like they do a lot of clues and stuff that you don't really notice until after. But I feel like, then again, it is the first episode. We're having whole new characters, whole new dynamic. So maybe just going for it in a free mindset is the best.
And pilots, like, typically at all pilots and everything, and this is kind of like a pilot.
Right.
It's so all about just introducing the characters and establishing who these characters are, and then go deeper into the storylines and everything, and filling in the clues.
Well, also, too, when the first series of Once Upon a Time started, it was a very, you had to really hold on to all those bits and pieces, because it was like after episode 4, all of a sudden, everything started started coming together and all the pieces started filling into the puzzle.
And not even that, just also the flashbacks, going back to reality.
So crazy. I mean, I'm really excited. I think there's so much excitement of what there is to come in this new realm of whatever. If maybe there isn't even a curse, you know, maybe it is. He just jumped realms and he's trying to figure out his way.
Well, there's definitely a curse because in the last of season 6.
Oh yeah, just duh. Yes.
I was saying when that big old black cloud.
They're like finally having their happy endings, and then it just gets wiped away.
Well, I'm glad he wasn't dead because I thought he was dead at the end of season 6 once that black. But then at the end when she knocked on the door and he was alive,
I didn't realize it
I was
was
just
him.
like, oh.
Until the end, and I was like, oh, that's who that character was.
I was like, he lived. He survived.
Yeah. But also, answer this for me, because maybe I was just looking too much into it. They weren't trying to replace Prince Charming in Cinderella's life. Henry was just Cinderella's, like, this
is a different telling of Cinderella.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
That's why they set it up that way. Like, there's so many versions, and I think that's why they did the Mad Hatter's hat.
Yeah.
And they had them sit with all those realms and doors, because where are people coming from? There are all sorts of different variations of a story. Right. So maybe Henry finally got his wish, and because he's magical himself, being the author, he finally got to be in his own story instead of just writing about it. I wonder if the end of this is going to be his daughter becomes the author. Oh. Because I also saw a lot of symbolism with his daughter and Rumpelstiltskin. Remember, him and Belle used to always sit at that well. And she went to the well and she brought her mom there. I really want to see more interaction between Rumpelstiltskin and Henry, because I feel like it was weird that Rumpel was his grandfather and he had like this thing, save Balefire, save Bale. Like, if your son died, wouldn't you be just as invested in your grandson? And I felt like that never happened. Yeah. And he saw him grow up. Heck, he stole him from the hospital.
He was close to him there, but then he got like a little distance once he found out what side he was playing, and all he cares about is Belle and his own son. Right. Like, he only cares about him and himself. He barely cared about Belle. Right. Until later.
Yeah, but Henry is his grandson at the end of the day, of the son that he feels he failed so much. I'd like to see that story kind of fleshed out. I'd like to see him have a deeper connection with Henry and actually like step into that kind of like grandpa-ish role, even if he's evil.
Yeah, no, it'll definitely be interesting. Also, jumping ship on this whole Henry and everything situation, I was so shocked when they said Alice. I mean, not shocked, because I knew it was coming, but you didn't know how it was going to intertwine into the story, and the fact that we're being introduced to her so early is really exciting.
I liked her. I liked her.
Everyone's just a bad, like,
right.
Like, I noticed
that. But she seemed like she wasn't the one pulling the strings, so she's not bad. I don't think she's bad. I think that we're going to find out more about her story, because she even said everyone thinks it's just Wonderland, like, it's not just Wonderland. So, and she's involved with Rumpel now, so she probably made some sort of deal. Yeah. That got her.
There you go. Look at her. She's excited.
I love how she was the one to drug Henry, right? In the first minute. Yeah. Careful what you drink.
That's why I said she bad.
You didn't drink anything from Alice.
No, definitely not. But maybe that's what it was. Maybe she was trying to get out of Wonderland, and that'll be her story. You know what I mean?
She's just stuck.
Yeah, she's stuck, and she was trying to get out, and then made a... But I don't know, we also, maybe Rumpel's a whole new character. We shouldn't think about him. We need to, like,
we didn't really get a name
right.
I forgot about
everyone has a whole new name. We got Roger, we got Ronnie.
So maybe he's even, I know, I'm going to have to, like, re-remember all, because we're going to want to
because I'm always going to keep calling her Regina. I'm going to keep saying, like, no, that's Hook, okay?
Oh, wait, that's right. Did Hook have 2 hands?
Yeah, someone...
It's a fake, like...
A prosthetic.
A prosthetic.
Oh, okay. But it was still not... He doesn't technically have a hand.
Yeah. It was like, it was in the black glove.
All right.
I'm not sure. I really didn't look that into it.
I didn't look into it, but then I was like, was he wearing a hook?
No, he was.
No, he's definitely not rolling around in Seattle with a hook.
Definitely.
That would be kind of...
Definitely not.
He would never be able to travel.
No.
This is modern day.
In jail.
I mean, he's the popo. I don't know. Make your own rules.
If I saw a police officer with a hook... No.
I wonder if there is a police officer with the hook. There might be.
Who knows? I don't know.
I've seen
I
some
have-
crazy things, okay?
I have a real question for you guys. It's super important. What's a fairy tale character that hasn't been on the show that you really want to see? And I want to know for you guys in the chat room too, like who do you really want to see whose story hasn't been told?
I would love for them to go more like animated and do like a Lion King type of thing. That would be
cool.
exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's a
bring
really
Simba
hard
into the
question.
mix.
Yeah, I mean, we already got the wolf from Little Red Riding
That's
Hood,
true.
so I think they can do it.
You're right.
Totally.
I want some Simba.
Okay.
Steph, what were your thoughts?
I don't know. I feel like they've used Moana. Have they?
Oh,
No,
they
yeah.
have not.
Moana.
Billy-
Moana would be.
Billie Jean
Really
Girl in the
awesome.
chat said Moana would be
Oh
cool.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I like that whole cast.
They might be
or
thinking
have you
about
guys seen
putting her
that?
in
Is
that.
that Atlantis Disney?
somebody is saying. Yeah, Atlantis is Disney.
Atlantis would be so
So
sick. An
cool.
underwater world where
Heck
that
yeah.
could be the next realm.
With-
that would be
And I've
crazy.
seen
it
a lot of the
Miles or
fans that
Milo,
like
the
made
guy
the
that was
characters.
The scientist from Atlantis?
Oh,
Yeah.
Milo.
Yeah, like
Milo.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be super.
Yeah.
All the fans, they've already like made the characters, like they casted them themselves. And I was just like, wow, you really do look like
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
And it was specifically for Atlantis.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd like to see.
I think we talked about Atlantis last season too, and I think that there's so many depths you can go with intertwining all the stories together. That'd be super interesting and different. But someone else in the chat was saying Thumbelina. I don't, and Anastasia is
Those aren't Disney.
but it's like
Anastasia is.
Anastasia.
No,
But it's
not.
fairy
It's 20th
tale.
Century Fox.
Anastasia?
So
Man.
is Thumbelina.
Lilo and Stitch, man, we can Narnia, we can go all day, but those aren't Disney. You'd have to
no.
go.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
would go like in the deep depths of like every story ever made, and let's just throw them
Mm-hmm.
in. So there's got to be a line that's drawn. But,
That's true.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I want to see Esmeralda.
Esmeralda. Oh, that would be cool.
Think about it. She'd be such like a cool, like, you know, hardcore chick. Give her like a little goth punk. She's already a gypsy. She could be a cut
Them
purse.
gypsies.
And then
I
I
want
want
to
to
see
see the Hunchback.
Esmeralda.
That is true.
Quasimodo.
Quasimodo.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many different stories you can get into, but ladies, we only have so much time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should get into some predictions. Let's
Yes.
do it. We've got a whole season.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Alrighty. Carolina, you want to go first?
Yeah, I think I said it earlier. More Irish folktales. I think that the Weaver being Rumpel's new identity is going to cast forth a lot of manipulation in this town.
That's going to be...
Dark manipulation.
Yeah. It is very... I feel like it is just dark all around, so it's... But I mean, that's how they all start, is very dark, so... Well, I should not say that so far. But Lanisha, what are you thinking?
We were talking about like how do we think it's gonna like end and how the curse is gonna be lifted. I think in order to lift up the curse, Henry has to finish the story because he could never think about how to even start the story. So I think that's part of the curse. He has to finish the story, like his story.
Right.
His story.
Yeah.
Oh.
In order to lift up the curse.
That'd be
I
a...
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because his story wasn't complete.
Right
Like,
here.
that's
It
what
was
he's searching
yeah.
for.
Boom.
That was good. Bam.
Love it.
I agree
Steph?
with that. I think it has to be in some aspects like a coming of age type tale and
Yeah.
finding his true love. And I think that they'll keep, if they're true love, then they'll keep finding a way to run into each other, which always happens in the past season. But I do think Hook and Ron, what's Hook's name in this now? Hook?
Roger.
And Ronnie duo are gonna I think they're the ones catching on to things the most. We saw it with the picture. He kind of had a flashback memory,
Yeah.
and I think Ronnie is kind of grabbing back into that evil queen type of not today attitude. So I think them two are gonna be behind the scenes a lot, moving the plot forward.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, it definitely was. They stood out the most to be the most suspicious this episode. I don't, man, there's so much that could happen. So I like always want to think of so many different threads of how things could end. But I think that however the curse ends is gonna be where Swan comes into play. I'm gonna think it's gonna be her savior moment is gonna be that, and they're gonna have some sort of conclusion where Emma and Henry are gonna talk because he's gonna feel bad about he's the one that
Yeah.
left. So if he left and all these people are trapped into this curse, he's gonna feel like it was his fault. So I think there'll be some sort
Yeah,
of
there's gonna be something that happens that makes it all better. Like
Yeah.
that had to happen.
And it might give everybody a closed circle to then begin to believe in. You know what I mean? These stories will all just start unraveling and going into different directions.
That's why I'm excited for episode 2, because I feel like, because Emma's supposed to be in that episode, and I feel like she's really gonna push it, like push the curse like forward. Yeah.
Right, man. Well, there's Brittany Scott in the chat said her prediction is that maybe Henry cast the curse somehow, but not in an evil way, which is very interesting.
Oh, to escape that shadow.
Right. Well,
No, I think that has to do something with Cinderella.
Okay.
Remember, it was coming after him, and then the fairies came and were like, "No, you'll see your father again." And she was like, "Well, we have a happy ending." And she's like, "Future's not set."
Yeah.
Right.
But you're gonna go with your mom. But that's Brittany. That's really good.
I think that actually makes a lot of sense too, because
He has magic.
Right. And he has I think he might have tried to change something in his story because he was upset trying to find this adventure. It wasn't working. And him changing whatever the story may be caused a curse. That could definitely happen. Man.
That would be like,
it would explain
that would be a plot twist. That would be a good plot twist.
That would explain why Rumpel and Regina, now known as the Weaver and Ronnie, are now there. It's going to be so hard. I'm going to have to learn all these new names.
Yeah, I know. We'll have to get our little chart going and how they all kind of like mesh with each other, who's connected to who.
Yeah.
We'll get that
going. That's going to be our new sign in the back. It's going to be a chart to like
help everybody out. We got Ronnie, we got Roger, we got Amala.
With some legit stick figures.
Yeah, like how they all intertwine together. Man, but this is going to be an amazing season. I'm so excited to be a part of a panel with you guys. Thank you guys in the chat for joining us. Continue to join us every week, and make sure that you obviously go into the sci-fi, fantasy, and superheroes channel to find more. But ladies, so they can find us on social media and tweet us about this amazing new, like, not series, but, season, whatever. Steph, where can they find you?
Steph Sabraw, STEPHSABRAW. I'm on IG and Twitter, so follow me. Let's talk about Once Upon a Time.
Yes. And I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. You can find me at Lanisha, spelled LANISHA 914.
Love it.
Hey guys, and I'm Carolina Bonetti, same name on Twitter, and Lena Bean 113 on Instagram with an I, so LINABEAN 113.
And hey guys, it's Ally Nasta. Find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at Ally Girl. And of course, follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms and chat us on Twitter, on YouTube, all of that good stuff, because we want to hear your thoughts and we want to talk about it. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.